Hi there, it's Fran here, and today I will share my thoughts about shooting your YouTube videos or any other videos for that matter with a smartphone. And I'll cover 3 main points to explore this dilemma. First, why am I recording videos on a 4-year-old smartphone? And why am I still using it in 2021? Second, my recent upgrade to a newer smartphone and what difference made to my videos. And third, my thoughts about investing in a mirrorless camera and when is the right time to get one of them. To optimize our time together, feel free to use the timestamps below. In 2017, I wanted to take my mum to Japan, and I thought very long and hard about getting a new camera, as my DSLR, the Canon 7D Mark I, at that time was way too big. So I sold it and I bought an iPhone 8 Plus instead. Yes, I did that. One of the main reasons I got rid of the Canon 7D was the recording time. I could only record 15 minutes at the time, and I'm mainly interested in video and occasionally photography. If I need to take a photo of anything, like my kids nowadays or while traveling, I use my iPhone. It's in my pocket, it's easy. The quality of the images and videos on the 7D was terrific, but the autofocus wasn't working during recording, so that was another considerable drawback. Hence, another reason I got rid of it. On the other hand, the photo and video quality on the iPhone are decent. Images are actually beautiful if taken in full light. The video is pretty much the same. However, when you don't have a lot of light, things are starting to look a bit nasty with lots of noise. And if you have an iPhone, you know what I mean. I'm still pleased with the iPhone 8 Plus, however, now I feel the need to take better videos, especially if I want to achieve that dramatic look in low light. I would need a better lens and autofocus that will let me be more dynamic during recording. So if I want to do a product review while on a talking head shot, I could easily showcase the item no matter when I shoot. I really wanted to believe that everything could be done using a smartphone, and I saw some channel nail that off quite well. It really depends on what you want to showcase and how flexible you are in the space you record. Suppose you like the bokeh effect, for instance the blurry background, or the flexibility of choosing a different focal lens for a different scenario, or if you prefer the ease of implementing other professional equipment in the setup. All these factors can be really another good reason to switch gear. Don't get me wrong, an iPhone is more than enough to shoot your videos, whether if they are for YouTube or not. And I'm the proof of it, as I have filmed all my YouTube videos so far with a webcam and an older iPhone. All my courses were done using a webcam for my talking headshots and occasionally an iPhone for some B-roll. No one ever complained about it. The reality is that people only really care about the content, don't they? I know that quality is essential nowadays for audience retention, mainly because we get easily distracted by other million things and we like shiny objects. And if we have the choice of, choosing a prettier video, why not, right? Technology went way forward since 2017 when I bought my iPhone 8 Plus. I wanted to improve a little more on video quality, so I started to research slightly better iPhone, and I found and purchased a refurbished newer iPhone. It's the one that I'm using right now, by the way. I'll tell you the model a bit later in this video, but let me know which one you think I'm using in the comment below, and if it's good enough. So why did I choose a refurbished iPhone in 2021? First of all, it was less than £400 for a phone that used to cost more than £1,000 just a couple of years ago. Oops, I think I just gave that away. The image quality between the 8 Plus and this one is just enough to justify my spending, and the quality difference between this one and the latest iPhone isn't earth-shattering either. The price is eye-watering though. Honestly, I didn't want to spend more than £1,000 for the latest and greatest iPhone, as my purpose is mainly videos. And if you are the same as me, you are getting started like me and, you're on a budget, this model would suffice. At least, at the time of this recording. Let's not forget that a smartphone's lifespan for someone who treats their phone like their pet is usually 3 to 4 years max. If the battery doesn't give you any problem meanwhile, and if you stop updating that dumb software all the time. So I think this model would just be acceptable for now. Should I invest or should you invest in a mirrorless camera? This is an over-asked question I saw on the web, and not just on the web, anywhere else really. But I did a fair amount of research, and being a Canon user and a Canon owner for several years and owning a couple of lenses, I was gravitating towards Canon, of course, but the low light and the autofocus performance, the full frame sexiness of these latest models really drove my attention. And I saw lots of reviews on Sony, Panasonic, Fuji and decided to lean towards Sony. I wanted to get my hands on an a7 III, but the fact that there was a not flip out screen, really threw me off. So eventually I decided to carry on with my iPhone and upgrade the rest of my equipment, light and sound first. And I can't emphasize this enough. If you look for light and sound quality like I do now, it would be almost as expensive as the video gear is. I recently bought a field monitor as I wanted to see myself while recording using the iPhone's back camera. Initially, I had to use a mirror to see myself, and that's all I had. I have a review video coming soon on a DeskView 7-inch film monitor, the one I'm using now. Go and check that out, and I leave the link somewhere here on screen and below in the description when it's released. And looking at the Sony mirrorless cameras, I came across the a7C. This camera seems the right fit for me as it is compact, has limitless recording time, and has, wait for it, a flip-out screen. Now that I have a field monitor, I shouldn't worry about this issue anymore. The price of the a7 III and the a7C at the time of this recording is just negligible. And the a7C has a better color scheme grading than the a7 III, and it's made for the videographer and vlogger in mind. So, a no-brainer. If you have a different opinion, just feel free to start a conversation below. I really wanted to know what you think. But if we are going to invest in a full-frame camera, we also need to invest in full-frame lenses. And the native lenses of Sony, the G Master lenses, aren't cheap, and some models are even more expensive than the camera. But on the other hand, they have, better longevity, so you can use them in different bodies. A good alternative would be Sigma. The 24mm 1.4 will give you a fantastic wider image if you like that kind of look. I heard excellent reviews on the Sigma 24mm 1.4 and the 20 to 35mm 2.8. I'm gonna leave it here on screen. I'm not sure exactly which one is the range. And if you like, wider view for talking headshots and close-ups, it will give you excellent results. In my case, the a7C will mainly be used indoors, but occasionally I might bring it with me for some outdoor shoots and messing around with some vlogging, why not? At the moment, the a7C and the prime lens will set me off around £2,000, which is quite a considerable chunk of cash, and I think I will wait until I make a little bit more money and perhaps the price will drop a bit. So let's see if you guessed what camera I'm using now, what iPhone I'm using in this video. Well, the model I'm using is the XS Max at 256GB of storage. It shoots 4K 24 frames per second to have that nice cinematic look. If I get enough interest in the comment section, I will make another video about shooting 1080 versus 4K. You can also see the difference in some of my previous videos as well. To answer the question, can you use an iPhone for your YouTube videos, vlogging, and online courses? Yes, you definitely can. The other questions you might ask is, what kind of image do I want to achieve? Is it for vlogging, for talking headshots, recording your online courses, product reviews, or perhaps all of them? If you're just getting started, I would go with what's in my pocket philosophy. A smartphone would do just fine. Limiting yourself also at the beginning will prompt you to be more creative with what you have already. And if you stick with your smartphone, the next step would be sound and lighting. Remember, this is my opinion. Take my suggestions with a grain of salt, as they, could be a little bit subjective. Perhaps take a bit of care of your backdrop, not like me really. If you're like me and have kids running around the house and don't have lots of space, you want to remove as much resistance as possible when you're recording videos. The sooner you hit the record button, the better. And if you want to see more video about my setup and equipment to record fast, check out my other video here and down below when it's released. Another question to you is, what equipment do you use at the moment? And do you have any suggestion how I can make this video better? Comment down below and I will treasure your suggestions and answer your questions about my research and what I know. I hope I shed some light on recording videos with a smartphone and what you should ask yourself before upgrading to something else rather than what's in your pocket. Well, that sounds weird. Like the video and subscribe if you want to see more, and have a meaningful day. Fran Solo here. I salute you. Bye. Why am I recording video on a 4-year-old? It's more...